All right. Welcome into the Monday morning takeaways with Cole Pinkston. I'm Justin Hokanson. We'll be joined in a minute by Tate. I think Jay or Brian Matthews, one of them will join us each week as we recap the Auburn game. This, of course, the last couple of years was just the Auburn Football show. Now with all the new shows and the rebranding and thought we'd switch it up and rebrand it and go with Monday morning takeaways, which I think is fitting. It'll come out on if you're listening to this, it's Monday morning. So
we also thought we'd switch it up and talk about a win for Auburn.
Just for the heck of it. You know what I mean?
It
just to see how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, try it out. Take it for a spin. It feels like it might be a little more fun to do it.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. And, look, if we get, maybe we get bored. Maybe we miss just ranting and raving. We'll get back to that at some point, maybe. But for now, we'll talk about a win. Auburn 38, Baylor 24. I think, when we talked on the Friday forecast, you, Jeffrey, and I, and reading kind of some predictions and scores, for the most part, I think the game went like we thought. Yep. I think certainly the big plays on defense probably caught us all off guard. Even if there were some question marks on defense, I don't think we thought they were going to give up 13 pass plays of 15 yards or more. That was a little surprising. Other than that, I mean, maybe the total rushing number. I don't know if anybody would have predicted 300 yards rushing as a total, but I first Jackson Arnold didn't surprise me. That was literally my X factor in the game. I was like, his mobility is going to be the difference in the game. So I don't know, like, what are just your high level? Did anything shock you, surprise you? Or maybe that's good that we thought that should happen and they went and did it. Right? We talked about that. Like, when's the last time they went and took care of business?
Yeah.
And for the most part, they did. Every time they got a 2-touchdown lead, Baylor answered. Auburn came right back and pushed it back to 2 scores. Baylor answered. Auburn came right back and pushed it to 2 scores. Like, so they answered pretty well, and I thought played well in game one, all things considered.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of good surprises, and then there were a couple of bad surprises. Bottom line, end of the day, you found a way to finish every time that it felt like Baylor had that they were starting to storm back in. Auburn had an answer, and that was totally different. I was not expecting that to be as clear and clean as it was. So I feel good about that part moving forward with this team. Good surprise was interior defensive line held up well. Mm-hmm. I thought that they didn't make Baylor one-dimensional, but they definitely kept them away from running the ball more than they wanted to. And that's important because Baylor's a good running the football team. They were last year. Auburn made them look like they needed to rely on the passing game. Good surprise. Bad surprise, secondary. Really, really surprising how uncomfortable they looked. Out of place they looked. Out of position, I think is fair to say. I don't know exactly where they're supposed to be, but I could tell that they weren't supposed to always be as open as they were over the middle of the field, Baylor. So I'm like, what's going on there? How do you fix that? Is that a quick fix? Is that a lingering problem this season? And then good surprise was how clean the offense operated overall. Clean football game. Loved it.
Welcome, Jay.
Hi, guys. It's great to see you again. Hey, Cole.
Hello. How are you?
Good. I guess you guys are doing good surprises, bad surprises. Is that what it was?
That would be. We should start every show like that. One of us should come in late and guess what the topic is. What are we talking about? We literally just started and got into just broad, high level impressions. Basically, Jay, I just said, I think it about went like we thought. Outside of a couple of the explosive plays we talked about, giving that up was a little shocking. Maybe you didn't think that Auburn would go for 300 yards rushing, but overall, Auburn was the more talented team, the more physical team, and that I don't think was all that surprising. What was just kind of a high level takeaway when you walk away from that game?
Yeah, Cole was saying clean, and I guess he means by that like strictly like lack of penalties. Is that kind of what you mean?
Penalties, turnovers.
Yes,
well, there were some penalties though.
Yeah, there were some penalties. I think Auburn had 9.
Even pass protection, I think it was pretty clean for the most part, and the way Jackson Arnold moves around the pocket was clean. Like all of that's clean. You know?
Yeah, but I didn't think the passing game worked the way that it should. It seemed a little bogged down to me.
No,
not necessarily due to throws. Just I don't know. It wasn't a big. I mean, Cam's a stud, man. Like he should be a bigger focus, right? And Singleton. I thought he would be more of an impactful player, and it's not really on him. It's not that he had a bad game or whatever. I just didn't think they featured him enough. And maybe you don't have to when you're rushing for 300. I don't know, Cole. How do you feel about that?
Well, I think if the coaches when the coaches sit down today and talk about it, they're probably going, "Well, we left a lot in the bag. That's good. That's good moving forward."
Yeah.
They targeted him 3 times, I think, 3 or 4. It's really not enough in a big game, but I think we all saw, and I think that they felt they had control of the line of scrimmage. Yeah. And if you have control of the line of scrimmage, you can control the game. And I thought they did that. I thought there were times last year when they had some control of the line of scrimmage and didn't take advantage of it. So I was really happy about that. It's hard for me to look past that because I'm so happy about that part of the game. But I'm with you as well. Like the passing game, there's too many times when you're not letting the football go for whatever reason. Like we know they're trying to throw the football. Why aren't you letting it go? I have a question about that. I don't know the answer yet. And then, I thought one time they targeted Cam Coleman on a fade in the end zone, and it was a good idea, but it also slowed you down. So they probably looked at that and went, well, I like this game we're playing right now. Let's not do that again. As good as it could be, let's be conservative and just finish this football game.
Yeah, was that a 1st and goal maybe from the 9 in a 1-on-1 basically?
Exactly what it was. And they took the 1-on-1. They were actually in 13 personnel on that play, so 3 tight ends. Tate Johnson.
Was that right after Cam's big catch?
Yes, it was the next play.
It felt like it was not forced, but it felt like Cam just made a good play. Let's go right back to him.
Well, I could tell by them going in 13 personnel and having Cam split all the way out to the other hash or past the numbers on the other side. It was strategic where they went, all right, now it's time to take a shot at him. He's got his rhythm. He caught the ball. Let's try it. And it was fine. I'm not against it, but it also slowed you down. That was the one you had to settle for a field goal. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get it. But
I'm trying to remember the throw placement. It was
a little, right? It wasn't great.
Wasn't terrible, wasn't great.
But the defensive back was playing inside leverage on that, right? Was my recollection.
I think he was on it, but that ball needed. I mean, that play you got to put a little bit of loft on there. Otherwise, you're just negating Cam's length and his height. If you don't let him that needs to be a rebound. Like if it's not a rebound, then you better be throwing it pylon or something.
The question is, do you think when they're going over film and they're sitting there with Jackson, they say, "Hey, good throw," or do you think they sit there and critique it? I think they'll critique it.
I think so too.
So you can
freeze and critique it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, overall, so I was going back and looking. So I put up a story kind of digging into the advanced stats. Like if we're just talking offense and you think about what you want to see from, like we think about where we wanted to be or what you wanted to see from this offense, man, you look at the first down success. I wrote they had 204 yards on first down plays. Wow. They had 130 yards rushing on first down. Jackson Arnold was 7 of 9 on first down. 84% of Auburn's plays were what we call non-passing downs, meaning not 2nd and 8 and not 3rd and 5 or more. And no turnovers. I mean, so obviously all that points to their ability to run the ball, but that is a great start when you think about the last few years of offense and you think about what they did. I mean, they were ahead of the chains.
Yeah.
I mean, the fumble by Arnold where he got hit and it went backwards, that was their only negative play for Baylor. That was it. 1 tackle for loss, 14 yards. That was it.
And it was a huge win that Cobb ended up on that ball, by the way.
Yeah. I'm really glad Jeremiah got back to that.
Yeah.
Because Preston probably should have gotten that, right?
He should have, but he fumbled with it a little bit, and then somebody hit him, and it was a scrum. But think about if Baylor had ended up with that ball, it changes a lot in the game. I think it would have been a momentum shift. And they had good field position if they get it too.
Auburn almost messed up the last 5 minutes of that half. I mean, they allowed a
Yeah.
score. They allowed a score, and then they were driving, and that drive messed up. Was that the Perry Thompson hold before that? The phantom hold or the tough hold? I mean, kind of. Wasn't that like right before the fumble? Wasn't it like a hold? Or am I
Maybe.
thinking of – I feel like it was that drive.
It could have been. I haven't made
It
it that
was a
far yet.
long Arnold run, and he got called back, and then whatever. So they almost messed. They almost gave up a score, and then they had a chance to score, didn't. It didn't come back to bite them. But that was not a great last 5 minutes right there. But just their ability to stay ahead of the chains didn't even really come close to that. That play was the closest they came to a turnover. There wasn't. I mean, was there a ball that Jackson Arnold threw that you were like, almost? I mean, maybe one. There was an out route, maybe, but I mean, I didn't see him putting it in harm's way a whole lot, which is kind of a carryover from fall camp.
Yeah, and Oklahoma. I mean, he had a reputation in Oklahoma for being almost too careful with his throws to avoid interceptions, and I think that's the one thing you can count on Jackson is that he's not going to put the ball in danger very often. And sometimes that's a problem in the sense that, that was a little bit of what Hugh was talking about in fall camp, that let's make decisions, be a little more decisive.
Yeah.
And so it's that balance, you're being careful, but you also got to be a little bit of a swashbuckler, which he certainly showed the other night. I mean, he was willing to take risks mostly on the ground, but I knew he was a good runner, but he's a creative runner. Like and he's very aggressive. Like I described it in the piece on the front of the site right now as a swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler.
I was about to ask y'all, like, we knew he was a good runner. Did you think he was that good? Because, I mean, you could even go back and watch the game where he ran for 100 and whatever on Alabama last year. He looked good. Against Baylor, he looked like he was accelerating through the hole faster than some of the running backs were at times. I mean, it was impressive to me. It was very impressive.
Yeah, his second touchdown, man, he ran with authority. Yeah.
And I think that, based on what I've looked at, I don't know for sure, but I think that was a improvisation of his, where he had this little flat route to Eric Singleton. He could have thrown it. There was a defender lingering in the area. Again, like you're saying there, if it's questionable, probably going to hold on to it and do something with my legs. That's where he's operating right now. How do you get him to get past that and go, let's just throw it out there to Singleton. Maybe he makes a play. Of course, that was a touchdown by Arnold.
Yes. An important one.
How do you coach that? Do you go, hey, now Singleton was open. You could have thrown it. He had 3 blockers in front of him. But, hey, good play. I don't know how you correct that.
I mean, I don't know that – well, you don't know what he's thinking or what he sees exactly, but I would say it was a good decision. I mean, I would say he's looking out there and something out of his periphery is going, this middle's wide open. I mean, something in the corner of his eye said, this thing just parted like the Red Sea. I'm going. And I'm okay with that. I didn't know he was – I'm not surprised by his mobility. It was like I said, it was – that was literally my X factor in the game. And the pick'em was, I was like, his mobility is gonna be, it's just gonna, it's gonna come up huge. I was like, we're about to see what this guy's about. But his top end speed, probably surprised me a little bit. I mean, some of those runs, him accelerating, I was like, oh, I didn't know maybe he was quite that fast. I mean, if he gets out in the open, it's not just mobility. He's gonna make you catch him. He's gonna make you chase him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was impressive.
He's a bad man.
Before we move on to the other side of the ball, the passing game, this is one of those where, God, we're not complaining about how it went. Hugh Freeze talked about after the game. Derek Nix said the same thing. They were playing a type of defense, Baylor, that was just like saying, please run the ball. Where you're not going to give up a long pass. We're gonna make you beat us on the ground. We're gonna make you be whatever. We're going to make you be tedious about how you go down the field, and we're going to bank on a mistake. I mean, if you watched Auburn last year, it's probably not a bad strategy. Like, you guys are going to make a mistake at some point.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So nothing negative about the passing game. It just, there weren't a lot of opportunities. You didn't see a lot of variety. You didn't see much. You had the pass to Malcolm down the seam. You had the one to Cam that was a pretty good ball. I mean, it could have been better, but I also thought he threw to a space and let Cam go and get it. You found Preston Howard over the middle once or twice, was nice. So there's a ton more they have in the bag as far as creative ways to get Singleton the ball or creative ways to get Cam the ball. And so I guess we'll see that down the road. So nothing necessarily to be concerned about passing wise, but I mean, I don't know. I guess any game you walk away where Cam has a catch, you're kind of like, even if you're running, surely you can get Cam Coleman more than one catch or Eric Singleton more than a couple of swing passes. But I don't know. Nothing overly negative, I guess.
Well, you would think in games like Georgia, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, when they get to those on their schedule, they're going to have to force the issue on that a little bit more. They really controlled Baylor up front. I mean, it was an overmatched offensive line versus defensive line battle.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime that's the case, you can't leave it. You just can't. And I'm glad they didn't, because we've seen them do that before, where they leave the run game and they start going, now, well, you got to get some targets to Cam or KLS or whoever. So I'm happy that they didn't fall into that. But at the same time, is your passing game going to be advanced enough by the time you see those Texas A&Ms, Oklahomas, Georgias to be able to do it when you're forced to do it?
And also these dweebs in the Baylor internet sphere who come into this game thinking, oh, Baylor's got this by 2 or 3 touchdowns. They thought they were going to control the line of scrimmage. I'm like, hey, man, like, do you know who Auburn has? Like Jay Hardy. I mean, he had those guys on a leash, bro. Like, Malik was working them over. Keldrick was way too quick for them. Morris was giving them trouble. Key was giving them trouble. Like, they were so outmatched, and those dudes thought they were going to be the winners in that area. I mean, come on, man. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'll say Baylor skill players are pretty good. They had a good game. Sawyer Robertson had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
They heated him up a few times, but not enough to really knock him off his mark. Like, pressure was okay. Do y'all feel like it was bad or?
I thought it was okay. I mean, I thought they brought 4 most of the night, and I thought it was okay bringing just 4. I mean, there weren't a lot of all-out blitzes. There weren't a ton of blitzes. A couple times, Woodyard got him good once, but I thought it was a lot of letting the D-line just pressure him, and I thought they did a decent job. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it didn't seem like, which is, by the way, kind of like disappointing, I guess, if I thought there was a lot of just 4-man pressure, and yet you still gave up what you did in the back end. It's not like there was all-out blitzes and all this stuff going on. The coverage stuff should not have. Some of those missed tackles, the coverage bust should not have happened. But I thought the pass rush was okay. I thought the interior defensive line was, look, that was a question mark for me, certainly me, and that's one where you'd go, answered that nicely. I mean, those guys didn't give up a thing. Baylor had no running game. I mean, they had to go complete passing game. They had nothing. Bryson Washington did nothing. Nothing was going on between the tackles. A couple of runs bounced outside, but just nothing up the middle. I thought they did a good job. That was one of the things that my immediate takeaways afterwards was interior defensive line rose to the occasion. That was a nice first game from them.
It was. I expected to see more Jordan Crawford and less Dallas Walker. But Dallas Walker proved me wrong. He had a good game. Mm-hmm. The 4 or 5 snaps I've seen from him so far, he moved the center about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage at least 3 times.
He's huge. Better be moving somebody.
He also bloodied up Colton Price, the center's face, one time. Y'all saw that?
He did.
It's awesome. Yeah, he did. And Jay Hardy. Jay Hardy had some really good snaps.
He played a good game.
He did.
Played a good game. I was freaked out. We were Hoke mentioned this earlier. Of the 6 lowest graded players on defense, according to PFF, 5 were safeties. I mean, the safeties had a bad game, and
yeah, that's right.
Oh my goodness, Robinson had surely that's the worst game of his college career. It's got to be.
He really hadn't played much. I mean, even at Colorado, he was not like the starter. I think he just rotated, so he's kind of new.
He's one I'm not a big believer in. I'll just be honest with you. Like we've seen him at practice. I've made passing comments to maybe you, Cole, or somebody out there. I don't know. We don't see a ton of him. Every time I'm out there, and I don't know. Maybe it's early. Maybe it's an early impression that's wrong. But watching him, I've never thought that dude's going to be really good. I just think he's a good depth piece, maybe, but I don't. He's never come across to me as somebody that you can count on. Caleb Harris was the surprising one.
Very.
I mean, he did not play well. Got smoked in the slot. Falston got beat in the slot. A couple of those were bad matchups. Like Caleb Harris doesn't need to be in the slot against a receiver. Falston on Trigg in the end zone. That's a terrible matchup.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Riddick is trying to chase receivers going across the middle. Of course, at one of them, it looked like he passed it off and was trailing on purpose. And I don't know what happened there, but just some stuff in coverage that didn't make much sense. I didn't see – the good thing is I didn't see Crawford or Kay and Lee getting picked on. Kay and Lee had a pass interference that was super questionable. I didn't really see them get picked on. So when we say explosive plays in the pass game and when we say secondary as a whole, that's sort of true. A lot of it's safeties. I wouldn't necessarily lump Crawford and Lee in. I would lump the safeties just tackling. Sly Smith. I did the tackling from those guys and the coverage from those safeties was yikes. I mean, it just wasn't good.
It's poor.
Do we know if there was a target on Jay Crawford at all? I don't think there was.
I
think so. I mean, I think he had a pass breakup across the middle, maybe once, and then maybe once or twice. I mean,
Rayon Strader and Rayshawn Pleasant both had a pass breakup as well, and it was really like you said, the corners. I think that Spavital saw something in the middle of the field that he just kept hammering, and it was because the linebackers were dropping in zones most of the time, and then once they got them in man, like I said it the other night to you, Jay, but Spavital really impressed me. He played a lot of games with them and understood how to mess with Durkin's schemes. It was like you said, the Michael Trigg touchdown on Kinsley Falston. That's just a great understanding of a good matchup. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Jay was targeted 5 times, gave up 3 receptions, 44 yards, 33 yak.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
He gave up how many? I'm trying to remember. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, threw the ball as many times. I guess I don't specifically remember.
33 yak. I don't remember that, but
well, that's the majority of his yards. So
Yeah.
Clearly, there's some reception in there that they attributed to him that he gave up some yards, but I don't really specifically remember it. But yeah, that passing game, that was Baylor's entire offense. I noted in that story, 319 of Baylor's total yards were directly from explosive pass plays, the 15-plus yard pass plays or more. 319 of their yards. I mean, it was their offense. It wasn't anything consistent from them. It wasn't a running game. It wasn't, some really high efficient, mid-range passing game type deal. It was just explosive pass plays. 13 passes of 15 yards or more from Baylor. 13 of them. Auburn didn't give up, by the way. It was surprising because I went back and looked. Auburn didn't give up 300 yards passing in a game all year last year, which I was shocked by. Going back and looking real quick, I was like, wow, in this day and age, that's pretty impressive. But I had to go all the way back to 2016 to see the last time they gave up more passing yards than 419.
Wow.
Against Ole Miss.
Hey, Cole, did you see have you gone back and watched the touchdown where the really long touchdown that Baylor got where Auburn had nobody near him?
Oh, I haven't made it to that one yet.
Okay.
I don't know.
I couldn't remember. It looked like Champ got beat on that, but he looked back as if somebody was supposed to help him. But if you're
it was a straight up miscommunication. That's not like, hey, somebody just whipped you. It's more of a why was somebody not back there over the top of this kind of thing. And Champ was confused, and I think someone else was, and I don't remember who it was now. But that was a miscue, man. 6 points worth.
Yeah. That was a tough one.
Yeah.
By the way, do you want to guess how many times Sawyer Robertson went over 400 yards in a game last year?
Here we go. 0.
1. Against LSU.
I guess we got to give him a Habauchi.
He had 445 yards against LSU last year.
So he's on fire.
How about that?
He hovered around 300 a game, but yeah.
But he played in a nerd conference where they don't play defense, though. So.
Well, and again,
they've run the ball so well. They ran the ball also. I mean, Bryson Washington was 1,000-yard back last year.
Yeah.
Dawson Pendergrass had almost 800. They're backup. They couldn't do that.
They don't play defense in that league.
Right.
Yeah. Again, I go to the yards after catch. I mean, Auburn, good passing attack, but I mean, geez, you got to make them work for stuff. I mean, you're going to give up 400 if you just constantly are giving up 15, 20, 20. I mean, geez. I mean, there's just nothing short, missed tackles. I mean, you were just allowing such huge passing plays. Durkin made an interesting comment afterwards. He said, he didn't sound overly concerned. He said, he basically said, we played a lot of guys, and maybe we played some guys that weren't quite ready, but that's okay. We'll get them ready. So like the plus side is you won a big game on the road, and you played a bunch of guys, and in Durkin's eyes, maybe some of them weren't ready, but you still won. And now you've got some tape to look at, and you can kind of go, okay, I thought this guy was ready. He's not quite ready. Now I know for sure he's not quite ready. And now I know what I need to work on him with, or maybe his snaps will be limited. Maybe he's not quite ready. And the other good thing is you got Ball State and South Alabama. So you have a ton of film to look at, to work on the next 2 weeks and 3 weeks of practice leading up to Oklahoma. So you got 3 full weeks of practice now to look at that Baylor film, especially on the miscues on defense, and go 3 full weeks of practice to hone in, fix things, try to develop things, figure out. And then by the time Oklahoma comes around, maybe you kind of know, I'm probably not going to, maybe I'm not playing 30 guys on defense by the time that comes around. Maybe by then you kind of know, okay, there's a couple of these that I'm not sure I can count on. We'll limit them. We'll play the other guys a little bit more. So it works out. You win a big game, you have some miscues, and you got now a few weeks to sort of dive into some of that stuff. Was there anything defensively, we're talking about these issues, are you concerned long-term? Like Durkin didn't sound overly concerned. Is there anything you saw that you're like, I don't know, that's not good, and I don't know if you can fix that in a couple of weeks? Or did we just see first game, bad tackling, can always fix that?
Yeah, there was something that concerned me insofar as this little slant paradigm, which is the way that Baylor was gouging Auburn so badly in the pass game. I didn't see any real adjustments to that. Now, the missed tackles we can work on. Cole knows about that. But, like, why wasn't there a defensive answer or some kind of a summary answer for the slants? And what do you do there? You just try to go underneath zone and catch them and hope that you can communicate the switches effectively, or do you just try to go man?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like they did much to slow that down, and that concerns me.
They didn't adjust to that. You're right. I mean, the way you adjust to that is by going man. You put somebody on them, but then they were scared because they went man on the play where they hit them on the big slot fade early in the game, I guess. Or at least, or maybe Durkin was thinking, well, I mean, we're keeping a shell on them, and we're making them work for it. That's the way I described it. Was they kind of went to more of a bend don't break style after throwing a bunch of blitzes at them the first couple drives. They backed off a little bit, and let's just I don't know. I felt like there weren't a lot of adjustment on that part, and maybe it's because he felt like they had them shelled to the point where they get in the red zone, they've got it tightened up. They handled the red zone well on defense. One thing I can tell you just from watching a bunch of those slants already, linebackers have to collision that. That's the fundamental thing where if something crosses your face, you got to knock it off. And they didn't do that. Riddick, that was what he was good at as a freshman. He didn't do it in this game.
Well, I mean, are his shoulders part of the problem?
I think it could be.
Because he had that ball that he deflected with his arm, and you could see him immediately just grab it. I'm like, oh, God, we're game one, and he's already in this shape, I hate
think that's going to be an issue, personally.
Yeah, and I walked out of that kind of thinking, although Baylor's rushing numbers were pedestrian, I credit a lot of that to Auburn's interior defensive line, and I also credited that to the lapses in the secondary, where Baylor's like, well, all right, we'll just take some shots then if that's how you guys are going to play. I came away not sure. I'm not sure I answered anything at linebacker. I mean, if anything, a couple of lapses by Riddick. Well, I could go both ways. A couple of lapses by Riddick. Woodyard flashed a little bit early, although he kind of disappeared. He had like all 3 of those tackles right off the bat. But at least it was good to see him and what he's capable of a little bit. I mean, chased the play down, was pretty physical, had a nice hit on Sawyer Robertson. So I liked a little bit of what I saw from him, even though I didn't see it all game. But I don't know if I learned anything new about anybody else. I didn't even see Wheatland, so I'm sure he played, but I didn't.
I don't think did he register a snap?
Wheatland? I didn't even notice him, see him. Melendez played, of course.
He did, yeah. Atkins, to me, Atkins popped a good
yeah. Atkins had a good game, had some tackles. Even though watching, I never went. I look back and he was second on the team, like he had 5 tackles. But during the game, I never went, whoa, there's Atkins. I guess he just made the simple tackles.
He was really, really good against the run. I don't know as much on the pass coverage, but against the run, he was very good. I thought.
Yeah, top run defender.
So I didn't. Yeah. So that was good. So I guess that was good to see. So maybe a little bit of positive, but not sure I gained a lot from the linebackers to go, all right, they answered any questions the way I kind of felt like about the interior defensive line. I thought they played physical. Linebackers probably still a lot to learn.
A couple things. Wheatland did not register a snap on defense, and Xavier led linebackers, in snaps, 51.
So, Wheatland, that's we'll see how it goes. But geez, to go get a transfer and then play him 0 snaps when you played nearly 30 guys, you played 30 dudes on defense, and how did he not get one?
I thought the big tell was how often Freeze would bring up Atkins and Diaz. And Diaz, I don't think he played much, but it's an athleticism thing. Like those guys got a step on Wheatland, I think.
Oh, no doubt. And it could be Baylor. What Baylor's doing, you're going, I'm not sure about Wheatland. I'm not putting him out there. I don't know what it is. I haven't studied Wheatland enough, but certainly you could go, this isn't a great matchup here on what Baylor's doing. I'm not sure we need to toss him out there.
Right.
Certainly some of that. Man, you look through here, though. You look at Auburn's offensive line. I put in the story, rushes of 2 or less yards. When Auburn needed 2 or less yards to convert a first down or a touchdown, Auburn was 9 for 9.
Good. I give a little bit of credit to the backs, too, because I thought I'm not counting all the yards, but I count every time that a back gets extra yards after contact. And just about every run from Austin in the first half he got yards after contact, which was actually my biggest question about him going into this game, because that had been Hunter's role. And Austin was more of hey, he's got good vision. Let's give him a carry here and there. Can he be the guy that gets extra yards after contact? I thought he was. I thought Cobb did a good job of that too. So I really liked what I saw from the backs.
I agree. I even noted that. At some point in the second half, I was like, they're basically just going north and south. I did not see many times where they made a bad cut or cut outside or try to make some big play out there and you get caught for no gain or a loss, and you should have just – I thought they stayed behind their offensive lineman and went forward, period. If it was 2 yards, it was 2. If it was 5, it was 5. But I agree. I thought they went north and south and took what was in front of them and then created some big runs there. Jay, you mentioned Jeremiah Cobb in your Stock Risers story. People need to go read that and to see who the others are. But that was a good choice because Alston had just as many yards. But I agree with you. There was some. You saw a little bit of Cobb's speed, a little bit of his vision there. That's nice. I think Alston's a good physical back, break a tackle, fall forward. But Cobb's got a little bit of that burst where he's going to break something. I mean, there's going to be games where he's going to bust some long ones. His speed was really good. I thought it was a good choice.
Yeah, I like him a lot. His yards per carry was a little bit behind Damari actually for this game, but Damari he's got a very broad base of skills, but he's kind of a grinder, and I think Jeremiah's got, like you mentioned, that burst, better acceleration. And I think he's got better top end speed too. Darrell did get 1 carry in that game, by the way.
He did. He got in there fired up, man. He was ready to go.
I think Damari did he get the wind knocked out of him or so? He landed on the ball. Remember, and he walked off.
Yeah.
Guess that was the only reason Darrell got to play a little bit there, but they got a lot of depth there, man. Shoes.
Yeah, I was pleased with that, man, because that was a worry. Wasn't sure how they'd be able to, because yards after contact are the most important yards on the field, in my opinion. Yards after catch are too, and that stat surprised me, Justin, when you did that one for Baylor. I was surprised by that. Cobb had 34 yards after contact. Austin had 66.
It's almost all of Austin's yards.
66 out of 84 yards for Austin.
He had to have had a couple of big ones where he broke a tackle and then went for 20. or something. That's a huge number.
It is.
Yeah, I would agree. That's another positive. That's running backs are kind of another one where you were like, okay, I think they're decent. I don't know. I'm not sure. I kind of wanted to see them, but I thought they did a great job. I really did. Yeah, that's probably maybe a bigger takeaway than we're making of it. Arnold certainly gets all the praise for the way he played, and rightly so. But I think there's something to extrapolate out of what Alston and Cobb did and go, okay, didn't fumble, ran north and south, broke some tackles. And if that offensive line plays well, those guys can get it done against anybody, against Bama or Georgia or wherever. From what I saw Friday night, that made me feel a little bit better about thinking about Damari and Jeremiah running against some of the better defenses you're going to face and being elusive and all that. That was a good step forward.
Yeah, for sure.
I think
have that run game, man.
And I think now when you go into a big game, probably not Ball State or South Alabama as much, but when you go into a bigger game, they know they really do have to respect the run now. And not that they weren't going to do that before, but Baylor didn't. They played with two safeties the entire game and really didn't adjust out of that much at all and got gashed because of it. Now, their defensive front's not as good as a lot of the defensive fronts Auburn's going to see, and that's going to make a difference. But you got to respect it. And then what? You're leaving Cam Coleman in single coverage. You're leaving Eric Singleton by himself. Malcolm Simmons. There's a lot of games you can play with this.
You got a quarterback who can run the ball.
That is
running. He can.
That's like you said, Justin. That's the X factor.
Leading rusher in the SEC right now.
That's right now.
I had a feeling that the first game offense could be a little clunky, maybe at times, but it wasn't necessarily clunky. It was just they were running the ball. I actually don't think it was clunky. I think he was just an X factor. So you mentioned Baylor. I'm curious y'all's thoughts because these first games, the same way people are making judgments about Texas and Ohio State or LSU, Clemson, or even Alabama, Florida State. It's game one. So I don't know. While there's some positives and negatives in the way we look at Baylor or the way we look at what Auburn did, how good is Baylor? Do you come away thinking, I think that Baylor team is really good? Do you come away going I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where we could reevaluate this game in a month and probably look at it differently, potentially. Because I thought Sawyer Robertson's good, some good skill guys. I wasn't super impressed with Baylor's defense. I'm not taking anything away from Auburn's offense and the way they ran the ball. But I don't know. But maybe that's all a credit to Auburn. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take anything away from them. Maybe that's a credit to Auburn. We're just that much more dominant up front and pushing Baylor around. So maybe it just is what it is. I think Baylor's going to score some points. Certainly, they've got a good offensive scheme and a quarterback that can make plays. They're gonna score points on people. But I don't know. Is there any part of that where you walk away going, I don't know if Baylor's as good as I thought, or are you like, no, I think Baylor's exactly what I thought. I think they're a pretty good team, and I think Auburn took care of business.
Here's what's going to happen. They're going to be 1-3 pretty soon. I mean, their next game's at SMU. They're going to lose that. And they still got a game against the Fighting Kenny Dillinghams on September 20th, so they're going to lose that probably.
That's tough.
Everybody's going to say, oh, they're terrible, but they're going to be one of those teams that wins 5 or 6 games, I guess, and just score a lot of points and not stop anybody. That's pretty much what. Yeah, man, that's their league, man. That's what they do.
Yeah, it is. And I think I might have. I think they were what I thought they would be after watching them so much, and I gave their offensive line a little bit too much credit. I think I went too far on that.
Well, that's fair. I mean,
now
that's Auburn's credit. That's Auburn's credit. I mean,
they had the same offensive line that they had last year, minus right tackle, who was one of the worst Power 5 right tackles I think I've seen in a while. And they were.
But you had a 1,200-yard back. I mean, part of what you were basing what you said off is Bryson Washington sitting there 1,200 yards rushing last year in double-digit touchdowns, right? I mean, the guy had a huge year.
What I didn't take into account is that they were doing this, and they were blowing people off the ball in all the film that I watched on them. It was TCU. It was it's like you said, that league, Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't take that into account enough that, hey, Auburn, even though these guys are unproven, this is an SEC defensive front.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a defensive front that was good last year and still has a few pieces from that. Keldrick Falk, he didn't blow up the stat sheet, but they couldn't block him.
Nah, he was a problem. Yeah. All the way through.
Yeah.
And I mentioned this in the stock risers. His fitness level is better than it was last year. The fact that, he played 50-something snaps, and he was really good the whole way, man.
He had a fantastic play on a chase down.
Sure did.
Forgot about it. That was a really impressive play.
Like, he gets the Marlon Davidson defensive line hustle game there.
Oh, yeah.
He went a long way to make that play, didn't he?
He did.
That was a big play. That was a big play.
And they needed him to make it, too.
Oh, yeah.
It had to happen. He's not going to get anybody.
No.
No turnovers. We look at what do we got? McPherson comes in there, kicks a field goal. It's nice to see him.
Hell yeah, it's nice.
With a little bit of energy, still small, you can tell. But I texted with somebody Friday about lunch or so and said, good energy, had a good morning, should be good to go. Obviously, Rayshon Pleasant. Special teams, you had the 2 penalties. That takes it back. But other than that, you had made field goal. You had kickoffs in the end zone. You had, of course, Rayshon Pleasant taking it to the house, which,
huge,
by the way, was well blocked too. Like, he's fast, but, man, if you watch it, it's a great job. He went up, cut off a block. It was blocked well, cut outside. Didn't even barely need to break a tackle. So, he hit the wedge and then bounced it. So, good job there. Obviously, the 2 penalties are probably something really dumb that they've worked on. That somebody, because it wasn't back-to-back that they didn't line up right on a punt. It was something that'll just be completely
2 illegal formations. They had a alignment issue twice.
Yeah, they'll fix. That's like a non-issue for me. That's
Chad hell over that too. He was giving him hell.
Yeah, and rightly so. It's like that's the stuff that you can't do that, but it's easily fixed. But then on the flip side, the celebration, I don't know if you guys saw the Auburn put out the like a video of Rayshon Pleasant returning the kick for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, it was good.
Paired with at the same time you're watching the return, you're watching the celebration on the sideline. It was pretty cool. They were like behind Chad Lunsford, and Chad Lunsford starts running down the sideline. He's holding up his arms, and then here comes Freeze, and you see their celebrate. It's kind of cool because you watch a play happen. It was kind of cool to see and like what was going on at that moment on the sideline, where Hughes coming up and high-fiving Chad, and Jake Thornton's giving him a chest bump. And it was kind of, you see plays like that. It's probably similar to a turnover or anything like that. Special teams plays, the whole sideline. Jake Thornton's pumped up, and Marcus Davis is running over there, and you can see Ashton Daniels in the clip, and that play was just
it was such a dagger.
Yeah,
it was a dagger.
He's fast. Woo!
And it was a great play. Obviously, I like touchdowns, but it put the defense. The defense got turned right around. Right,
yeah, they were
long drive. Then you get that kickoff return, and they're back for another long drive. I bet they played 25 or 30 consecutive snaps right there, and they're like, break.
They did. At least you threw some points in the mix with it.
Yeah,
that helps.
I've given. They were tired, man.
I've given credit to 2 different people on that play because it was number 21, and I still haven't decided if it was Darrell Robinson or Anquan Fagans that made the block that sprung Rayshon Pleasant. It was number 21. I feel pretty sure about that.
I would guess Robin. Do you think Fagans? I would think Robinson's probably back there.
Well, I saw 16 out there throw a block on that play, which was Bryce Diaz.
Yes.
So I just don't know. I don't know how they have that exactly. I'm thinking it's Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, he had some speed to burn. That was legit. He's a threat, and the way they have that set up is you have Malcolm in there too, who's up. So if teams say, "All right, we're not messing with that. We're gonna sideline kick this thing to like the 10. We're gonna angle it." Well, Malcolm's over there. Malcolm's up and on the side. So if you start choosing to kick it short or to the side, you're kicking to Malcolm, or I can't remember who else was over there. Maybe Cobb, but so yeah, it's going to be. We didn't get to see much in the punt return game, which this day and age, man, the way everybody punts, it's hard to get space returning punts. That's kind of fell out of the game.
Hey, I took pictures of that return team, Cole.
Yeah.
It was Darrell.
Darrell?
Not in that play, but I was watching from practice is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on.
Practice, it's Darrell. Yeah.
He had a good block. He had a really good block. He and Bryce Diaz, they opened that thing up.
Nicely done. Hey, did you watch any Florida State, Alabama?
What?
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of hate watching that. But anyway, did you recognize a lot of those calls, man? It was just the exact same stuff he'd run.
We literally were talking about that before you came on, and it was the same stuff, dude. It was the same stuff. Yeah, it's always the same stuff.
I was telling Justin, I watched the game with an Alabama fan friend of mine, and I said, "Look, man, I bet you I'll be able to call this offense today." And he said, "No, you can't. No, you can't." And I said, "Here comes quarterback run. Boom. Wheel route's coming. Be prepared for the wheel route. And power read and inside zone." And that's about it.
Yeah, he got him with that retrace H wheel. He got him with a receiver for a big gain. He had it open a few other times. They just didn't throw it. Yeah, it's the same things with Gus, isn't it?
How many times do you need to get beat by the wheel before you realize? It's incredible.
It's such that play is so brilliant because the guy comes from the slot. He goes and lines up at the running back, which would make you think as a defense, okay, he's coming in to protect. And so then when they call snap, instead of staying in to protect, the linebacker is thinking he's staying in to protect. So the linebacker stays in the box. He turns and just goes back out and runs the route. And it's just it's freaking genius. And that guy.
Well, my thought on plays like that is it's messing up your numbering conventions, right? When you're the defender, I'm going to take the 1 receiver, the 2 receiver, the 3 receiver, and then it changes those numbers.
Well, what it does is when they bring that guy in the backfield, the linebackers have to bump, and then at the snap, he's going the other way. So they've already bumped out of position. It's smart. I mean, I have to give him credit. It's the same thing he's been doing for years, sure, but it's smart.
Yeah, it's not quite as good without Chandler Cox doing it, but whatever.
Or
Chandler's pretty good.
He had somebody else that was always his wheel guy, Harold Joyner.
Well, Cam Martin was one too.
Cam Martin, yeah.
Yeah, Harold Joyner. I forgot about him, man. Good call.
Asa Martin had one.
Asa. Man, I haven't thought about those guys in a while, man.
Yeah, Gus was in his bag. What was just kind of cool?
How did he recruit those? You want to come be the wheel guy for me?
It's an important
pass once every 4 games.
It's a big game.
It was cool seeing Gus as an OC, though. I mean, think about it. It's been since 2011. It's been since 2011 you saw him as just an OC. And, I mean, it'll be interesting to watch them the rest of the year. If he no head coaching duties. He just has to worry about game planning and doing all that. And go back over the years when he had the right pieces, which may be for everybody. But for him, you don't need them all. You need a couple of right pieces for him. And he gets on the play calling. He gets on. Now when it gets off, it gets off. When it's bad, it's bad. But that quarterback was really impressive. That dude's that athletic. And you got a little bit of speed out there. I told Cole, I'm interested to see if they play with that kind of intensity every game, because they were the more physical team, the more prepared team. Like, they were on another level. If Florida State, if that was not a 1-game thing, Florida State's going to be literally in playoff contention. Not to turn this into a Florida State podcast, but before we get out of here, what about SEC in general? Since we are kind of talking big picture, Texas, LSU, Alabama. Anything else from a SEC perspective? I guess everybody else played cupcakes, right? Is there one I'm missing?
Big games were boring. Texas game was boring. The LSU Clemson game was boring to me.
Now, I enjoyed the LSU Clemson game. The Texas game to me was a little boring. I mean, I almost felt uncomfortable watching that game because of how Arch Manning performed. Dude, you can't get that kind of hype and then not be awesome. It just can't.
Well, the hype's not his fault.
No, it's not.
Sure. I do feel bad about him on that. The hype was ridiculous this offseason, and that was not fair to him. It was ridiculous.
He'll get better. I feel pretty sure of that. But man, I mean, Ohio State's defenses.
Oh no, those are two of the absolute best defenses. I mean, those are elite defenses, absolutely. So LSU,
Clemson. Yeah, they were too. I think LSU's legit.
Yeah,
I think Clemson's legit.
Those are all playoff teams, all of them.
I can't believe LSU's defense was such a joke, like really 2 years ago, and now it's looked pretty damn good the other day. I mean, that's a
Yeah,
quick
they
step
went in the
forward.
portal and got serious.
Anybody else jump out from the SEC?
Tennessee kind of messed around with Syracuse for a little while, but Syracuse isn't bad.
No, and that quarterback, I didn't know much. He looked good. He looked pretty good. I'm surprised that I didn't pay super close attention to that situation, but UCLA had him and then took Nico, and then the guy was like, "All right, I'm out," or did he transfer out before Nico made his decision?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
Guy's been playing a while.
Because from what I saw, Nico, that the guy Tennessee's got's better than him. So I
Aguilar,
don't know
right?
that timeline. Aguilar,
Joe
I'm like
Aguilar.
that guy looked pretty good.
He was committed. So he played for App State,
Right?
and he's committed. He went to the portal and committed to UCLA. And then Nico left Tennessee, went to UCLA, and he decommitted from UCLA and went to Tennessee.
Got it. For some reason, I thought he was at UCLA for a year, so that makes more sense.
I know his first year in college was 19, bro.
Wow.
19. Yeah, his first year in JUCO was 19.
Still, I mean, based on what I saw, you had Aguilar and you took Nico, and I don't know. To me, UCLA got the bad end of the deal. I thought he was a really good fit for Tennessee. I think guy looked good. So
him and Zeke Walker and Tate Johnson back in the day.
Kentucky had to really work to beat Toledo. I mean, we all know Kentucky's kind of cooked.
But one. I thought I was all Zach.
Texas A&M had a little trouble with UTSA.
They did.
But that's going to be
pros, man.
I didn't watch it, so I don't know about that. Yes, if Reed didn't look sharp or something, maybe that's not great. But UTSA is a good team. That coach has done a good job. That program is you could put that program in the Big 12 and they might go to a bowl.
That's not a team you want to open up with. It's really not, because you can almost underestimate them a little bit. Baylor, you kind of know. Okay, Baylor's capable of beating you. Yeah. I'm just glad. I'm really, really happy that we didn't have to watch an Alabama A&M opener where Auburn scores 70, and then we're like, what do we even think? We know nothing.
Well, that's going to happen this week, my man.
Good. I'd rather it happen week 2 than week 1.
Auburn's going to crush Ball State. I mean, good God. Dude, they got blanked by Purdue of all
Purdue. Yeah, Purdue's supposed to be terrible. Yeah. Yeah, South Alabama's going to be a tougher game than
was Braden Joyner their starting center? Did anybody see that? I think he probably was.
Well, they're paying him to be.
But yeah, I was about to say that he should be if he's not.
Mississippi State. I watched a little bit of that one. Definitely, they're better. I don't know what they can do, but they looked a little bit better. Kentucky, yeah, like you said, Calzada had like 80 yards passing and a pick. That Kentucky's they're not going to a bowl. They're not going anywhere. What else? I mean,
Georgia, Marshall
rolled. Georgia rolled.
Marshall.
Just a footnote: Braden did start and play 57 snaps.
Good for him. That was a good move for him. It would have been nice to have him in your 2 deep because he can play, but it's a smart move for him. You can't blame him.
There's a lot of money they offered him.
Yeah.
Florida rolled at the time of recording this. Just for people behind the curtain, we record this on Sunday afternoon, so we have not seen South Carolina play Virginia Tech.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
So we'll see how South Carolina is one of those teams that could underachieve. They got a pretty tough schedule, and we'll see. They lost a lot. We'll see if they live up to the hype or if they come back down to earth a little bit.
It's interesting. Who are the 2 quarterbacks we heard the most about? Like, if they hit the portal, this is who Auburn would love to have, like Marcel Reed and Lenore Sellers.
Yeah. Would have been good fits.
Is Marcel Reed the Texas A&M guy?
Yeah.
God, he missed some throws yesterday, bro. I mean, he missed one embarrassing. He had a guy that his receiver was the only guy in that quarter of the field. I mean, he was 25 yards open, and he overthrew him. And I mean, bro, you can't do that.
Well, he was talking. He was saying, y'all think I'm just a runner, but we'll see. Yeah, he's got maybe a little bit left to prove. Oklahoma rolled Mateer 400 yards passing. He's going to be a problem.
Illinois State, is that who they played?
Yeah, but just that OC coming over, the continuity there, Deion Burks, Mateer, he's going to put up a lot of yards this year. I mean,
he's going to be good. You still, like, if you're an Oklahoma fan, you're like, I don't know how to feel yet. Like, yes, that's great, but
watching Auburn's pass defense, I'm not exactly thrilled about the trip to Norman in a few weeks, but that looks like does not look good at the moment. But that's a little bit ways away. Oklahoma's got Michigan, by the way, next week. That'll be interesting.
Oh wow,
that's right. Yeah,
yeah. In Norman, Michigan was okay. I mean, I think Oklahoma may win that one, but
let me say this too, real quick, before we get out of here. Did y'all So Alabama rotated 5 backs. In fact, they had 6 guys take a carry in the first half, I think, because they handed it off to Jeremy Bernard one time. Auburn feels pretty good about their top 2. I think that's interesting.
Well, Jam's hurt, right? Jam Miller, their number 1 guys.
He is.
He's good. They need him back. I mean,
like Richard Young was a 5-star running back. I mean, they have him. They have others that were everybody else there was blue chips. And they've been there for a year or 2. I was shocked that they didn't have a clear cut number 2 guy.
I don't know that their coaching staff's blue chip, my guy.
Well, they did you see the tweet? There's a guy, it's an Alabama fan who tweeted, let me find it. He said Alabama fan, he tweeted out, he goes, I paid for 3 U-Hauls to be delivered to the following houses. so it starts. 1, Kalen DeBoer, a true outsider that has lost the fan base. 2, Kane Womack, a true defensive moron who thinks watching a quarterback is much better than attacking one. 3, Greg Byrne for hiring a West Coast guy at Bama.
Wait, Kane's not a West Coast guy.
DeBoer, I don't even know where he's from.
I saw some posts yesterday that were saying maybe the Auburn fans are right. Maybe he is Husky Harsin.
I mean, he's recruiting better than Harsin ever did. But they got
week 1. It's week 1.
They got an issue, man. Like that was as unprepared and his lack of physicality and the lack of preparation was at an all-time low in that game from them. And I've heard from people that have been to their practices. I mean, there's a ton of talent there, but there is I don't know about 180, but from people that have been to practices, the difference between the intensity of him and what you had before is just striking from what people say. That there's people that don't love his sort of kind of, just I don't know. There's just a little bit of a lack of emotion and intensity in the way they prepare and stuff. And look, Alabama's 5-5 in their last 10 games, I think, going back to last year.
They also they have some key guys injured. They must have been getting after it in practice. It's not like I don't think they were being passive. I think
and Miller and Keenan, who's
Tim Keenan, Jaden Roberts.
It's a big loss. Those guys would have helped them, but Florida State was the better team. I mean, those guys would have helped, but Florida State was more fired up, more physical. I thought, and I don't know what Ty Simpson. I would love to watch the film of what he was watching. The amount of times he dropped back, held the ball, didn't throw it to anybody, and then just started running and playing backyard football he was
getting pressured a lot, especially from Caden Proctor's side,
which is surprising because that O-line was supposed to be so dominant, and they give up pressure, and
they were missing Jaden Roberts
and zero run game.
And we've been saying, I know we've said it a few times. Caden Proctor's going to be an NFL guard and a really good one. Pass protector at left tackle. I just don't think that's his thing. I saw a post that said Tallahassee Waffle House alert. Be ready,
dude.
Arthur Gustav Malzahn.
Flex alert.
Bruce BP tweeting the picture. Not just tweeting boom, but then tweeting the picture of Gus riding the Gus bus over the Alabama Elephant was unbelievable. It was an incredible troll.
He was up in the upper deck. BP was just
in Waco.
Yeah, in Waco.
Yeah, he was.
I knew. I didn't know that was going to be a story. I knew he was going on Wednesday because I know who rode on the private plane with him, and I was just like, oh, I mean, that's what BP does. He just goes to the games. So that's what he loves that stuff. Remember when back in the day when softball made it to College Worlds, he's out there. I mean, he's but Gus is his guy. That's his friend too. So it wasn't just poking at Alabama. He was celebrating. He was celebrating. I will admit, I texted him when he put that tweet up. I copied the link to that tweet and I sent it to him with a crying emoji. And he just had exclamation points. He was fired up. He was enjoying himself.
Isn't it interesting that Gus is such a nerd, and then he's married to a girl who's a firecracker. His best friend is Herb Hand, who's a firecracker. And then he just has this great rapport with BP, who's also a firecracker. Like, he just likes exciting people, but he is not himself exciting.
Every friend needs that quiet friend, you know?
Yeah, I'm pretty quiet.
And then Gus gets on Twitter after the game and says, reminds me of old times.
Yeah.
And that went off. That popped off. That popped off. That's what made the Alabama loss 100 times worse for them. Not just they lost the game. The fact that they lost to Gus made it, because Auburn, from a social media Auburn fan perspective, Auburn fans obviously are relishing in the fact that you lost, but then they're also celebrating Gus doing it to you. And then Bruce pops off. I mean, it was Alabama hasn't had a lot of like really bad days, nights over the years.
It's also all the headlines we've seen. Oh, Alabama, they've really changed the physicality this year. They've taken a new approach. Can't tell me how many times I read that, which maybe they have. I mean, it's game one. Like we said 100 times now. It's just funny that Gus goes, well, we can run football on them.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
We can do that.
That was impressive.
Listen,
long way to go. Long way to go.
Okay to talk about. We need to enjoy this week. This was a good week of football. I don't know if we get another fun one like it. I don't know yet.
I saw a tweet. It was, of course, you have Auburn winning on Friday night. You have Bama losing, Gus doing it to them, the whole thing. Somebody tweeted, great weekend of football. Same time next week. It was an Auburn fan, Auburn person. Yeah, so we'll see. Bottom line, Auburn 1-0. Now you get a chance to work on some stuff and hopefully be 3-0 before Oklahoma. Big win, not end all be all, but really decisive win. Nice to see him in there. No turnovers, dominated on a scrimmage. I think that was the most important stuff, most important takeaways.
How does it feel to y'all that we are over the Baylor hump of so long talking about it, of how many ways it could have gone, and we just kind of seamlessly just kind of rode over that one, and we're moving on now, and it's like, okay, we talked for months about that game, and they took care of business. It feels good. It feels good moving forward.
Yeah, but now we got Ball State, who sucks, and then South, they lost their quarterback, who's now at North Carolina starting, so it's like,
yeah.
But Oklahoma, we're going to be building up toward that Oklahoma game. That's going to be a showdown.
From a what we do perspective, it's a letdown of 2 weeks. But from a Hugh Freeze perspective, he's going, whew. Don't you know he feels good right now?
Damn right he does. And you know, doesn't feel good. Maybe that would be Brian Matthews, who's going to be marrying his daughter off the weekend of the Oklahoma game.
Oh man, well, that's okay.
What are you doing? No, I mean it's fine, but it's going to hurt him, man. It's going to hurt him because giving away your daughter, I'm sure, is tough. You know it's coming, and then you're going to miss the Oklahoma game. It's tough. Sucks to be you, bro.
Fall weddings.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I wouldn't do it. My daughter knows better.
What else? Anything else before we get out of here?
Boys. It's a pretty big weekend.
I mean,
can I hit on one thing before we go?
Sure.
Freeze's comment, because this kind of caught fire on social media, and I was surprised, but I guess I shouldn't be at this point because it's Freeze saying something. He said after the game about the defense that they looked tired and sluggish.
Oh yeah,
and we wrote about this, and we probably should have talked about this earlier in the thing. And then he said, "I'm going to have to talk to the strength staff and sort of see what they think." Of course, everybody on social media took it as, or a bunch of people took it as he was throwing the strength staff under the bus. Like he was going, they were really tired. I got to talk to the strength staff and see what's going on. I didn't. That's not what he meant. What he meant was, I'm going to get their opinion on if we were tired, what could potentially be the reasons, not throwing them under the bus. But it was hot and humid. Did you think they looked slow and tired? I mean, it kind of looked like that a little bit. Do you read into anything, or do you think that's a legitimate excuse, or was they just had some miscues and misplays? It doesn't even really matter about the tired and sluggish, or did you watch and go, what do they do? They do look legitimately tired, and why would that be?
I didn't notice it. I thought it was more of miscues and misalignment and out of position problems, and then bad tackling. I don't think that's a conditioning thing. But I will say this: I'm really glad to hear him say that because if I'm reading into that a little bit, it's like, hey, we played 30 guys. Why are we not playing with our hairs on fire?
Because that was what he talked about all during fall camp,
We
wasn't it?
just played 30 guys. You should be on fire.
Give me your 10 to 12 best snaps. That's right.
It was almost like a shot. Like, really? I just played 30 of y'all.
How many guys, Jay, played more than 40? Baylor had 72 snaps on offense. How many guys played 50 or more?
Great question. Let me check out the defense here real quick. Total snaps. How many guys played more? Oh, I'm still over on Purdue because I was looking it up for number 55. That's my bad on that one. All right, defensive snaps. Guys over 50?
Yeah, or 45.
There were 8.
8 over 50.
Eldred, Xavier Atkins, Keyron, Robinson, Kayan, Champ, Caleb Harris, and Jay Crawford led the way with 69.
How many guys were? What was sort of the middle point? How many guys were under, let's say, 25 or 30?
Let's see. The middle ground looked like to be Robert Woodyard at 37 and Malik at 29 was kind of like the middle area. So some guys that played less than 30 snaps would be Malik, Bobby Jamison Travis played 27, Rayshawn played 26, Zeke played 23, Elijah played 19, and Kensley played 17. So that's kind of where those guys were.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, Durkin didn't really.
Shocking number for Robinson.
Yeah.
Jacquez Robinson, he played how many?
53.
Yeah.
What? Well, that better go down.
And you know who needs to go up? Eric Singleton. I mean, Eric Winters.
Well, yeah. Who?
Eric Winters.
Yeah, he actually tackled people. That was good.
Yeah,
He
there's
almost had a pick in the end zone.
Sly Smith, man. I don't love his tackling.
40 snaps for Sly in that game. Did not grade well as you expect.
He's very boomer bust. He'll have a good play here and there. I'm wondering if we start seeing Fagans more because I don't think he played.
Had one snap. Said I didn't see it, but
on defense or special teams.
He allegedly had one on defense.
I think he might be your nickel moving forward eventually.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. It was interesting. I mean, it was hot. It was. I know at like 5:36, like an hour before game time. It felt like 104 out there. Obviously, it temped down, but I don't know. But you have all fall camp and it's hot. I do get it cooled down in Auburn. At least the last week to 10 days, you had probably high 80s. You go out there and it's 95. But I don't know. That can't. You're practicing all summer, all fall. It can't. That can't be a factor.
Yeah, the first place my mind went to when he said that was when he said Jarquez Hunter looked gassed last year. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yo, boy,
that blew up.
Stop giving him the ball. But wasn't that the game where Jarquez is like on the sideline, like
Vanderbilt game?
Like not looking gassed, like whenever you're ready to put me in.
Looks fine to me.
Yeah.
I think he's gassed.
Yeah. I'm over here, coach, not gassed at all. Yeah. Weird response. I don't know. Maybe it's just a sort of reaction to some missed tackles and the busted coverage is to say they looked tired because when you look slow or you miss tackles, I guess that makes you sort of look sluggish. I mean,
he's watched them tee off on his offense all fall camp. He was probably like, all right, where's that? I need a little more of that.
Yeah, I did love Auburn's first offensive possession 3 and out. We were texting like,
yeah,
of course that's the first offensive possession. It was kind of funny to watch the mini meltdown for about 10 minutes when they came out and just looked terrible and went 3 and out, and just our board was like, oh, shit, here we go.
There was a huge spike in viewership. I could tell it was about 10,000 views in that part. Everybody,
it was almost funny. It was funny. I tweeted, I was like, one offensive possession down, all of them to go. I was like, but they turned it around. All right. I think we covered it all. Appreciate everybody joining us. Go to auburnsports.com and subscribe. I almost said Auburn Live. Go auburnsports.com and subscribe for $1. I think that's still going on. Catch all the shows. By the way, if you're listening, go to YouTube, subscribe, turn on notifications. We have a show every day of the week. There's some football shows, recruiting shows, rundown. You name it. We got a new show every day of the week if you include the call-in show that goes live on Sunday night. So you got everything. So go be a part of that YouTube channel. All right, fellas. This time next week.
Sounds good. Do it.
All right. See ya.